All right, here is the speed run of Seamstress Fast, the Excel Esports case. May or may not be based on Taylor Swift. This, I got to add up the numbers for a thing, right? So sum filter the concert numbers where the city is something. The city equals there. That'll be good for level 1. All right, level 2, I got to add some more information here. I'm going to do this and shrink these a little. All right, so I need to know what the date, the in city, day multiplier, city multiplier. All right, so the date is the year, and then for the month, it's XLOOKUP, the month name on my prep sheet. I've got the months here. If you want to download this prep sheet with the lambdas and VBA, please see the link in the description. Then the day goes there. The in city, I got to sort this first so the cities are contiguous. If you don't do that, you do this the way I'm doing it without sorting, you get one wrong because there's there's 2 times that they're visiting London. All right, so sort by city, then by date. Now, if the city is not new, then that plus 1, otherwise 1. So the day multiplier is look up the weekday of this on here. I got to add the numbers here. Locked, returning the multipliers, locked. Numbers are just sequence 7, already in the correct order. That's the day. Now that's oh no, that's the multiplier. Now the city multiplier is looking up the number in the city on here, returning here. And I'll just bring these over real fast. Now I gotta look up the concert number on both of these multipliers. Keep this locked so I could use it again later. So it's 25,000 times this, according to the instructions. No rounding needed. All right, now we got to look at the stadium, right? So I'm going to make some copies of this. Let's do some stuff. What? This is floor row, riser row, all row. So to figure out the floor row, I'm going to put zeros on the stage with fill color is the subroutine I have for that. Now if I make this white, I can use this maze solver with diagonal to get the row number. Now for here, I want the zeros to be all around the outside. All right, now I make the whole thing white and do the maze solver again, which just tells me, you know, the number of steps. It uses breadth first search to fill out the number of steps. Chessboard distance to get to any 0. And this all row is just the maximum of those, right? So whichever, you know, each one has 0 for the other types. So just basically combining these with the maximum. And that's the row number of the entire thing, but it's a little more complicated than that because I need the row number of the tier, right? So I'm going to do what? The address, I'm going to do the tier, I'm going to do the row of everything, and then I'm going to do the row within the tier. So x2call is my little lambda that will give me the tiers. I'm actually going to make that from here, even though I haven't done it yet. Here's the way I'm going to do that. Just going to paste that, paste values, and then use fill color, right? So now it's just going to find the matching colors on this sheet. All right, so now x2call here will give me the addresses and the tiers of everything. Line this up a little bit here. The row number we just did, right? So that sheet lookup on here. This is going to have to stay locked, of course. And I'm looking up that address. I also need to know what's the minimum row number in each tier, right? So that's a min filter of the row numbers is what I want to minimize, right? And then if I check, first of all, based on if the tier is the correct tier. All right, so then the row of the tier is this minus xlookup, the tier on here, locked, returning here. So this is like the first row in the tier. So that difference and then plus 1, right? Because the first row is 1 and not 0. So that is, this is xlookup, not sheet lookup. So if I look up the seat number on the stadium, right? The address is returning on that. That's the row within the tier. Now I need distance, right? Distance is pretty straightforward. I'll just make another one of these. It's going to be the distance to the stage. So just starting over here real fast. I'm just going to put zeros on the stage again by using fill color. And then my maze solver, right, will tell me, you know, what's the chessboard distance. How many moves would it take a king in chess to get from here to a 0, right? Is what this is. Now I can use sheet lookup, right? So sheet lookup on the distance. Distance stays locked. I'm looking up the reference there, and I multiply by 3 because it's 3 feet per cell. All right, so now I got to figure out how high some of these are, right? So, well, first, I need to know the tier, and I need to know the height of each tier, right? Which is different for the concerts, right? So this is an X lookup, right? Oh no, this is a sheet lookup. Could be either one. But if I do the sheet lookup of the stadium by the seat, that will give me the tier. And then the height of each tier, so right, so this is the height of each tier, is based on the concert, right? So if I look that up on the concert number, that is the height of each tier. So now what I need to know, Minrow will help me here. This is locked, right? So what is the height of the tier? The stage is irrelevant. The floor is always 0. This height is just this, right? This height is the previous height plus the height of each tier plus however many rows there are. So this minus this, right? So now the height of the seat is, you look up the height of the tier and then you add the number of rows per seat, which I will in a second. I don't have that yet. Row in tier, which is, I believe, yeah, number 3. What's that? That was level 3's problem, was to do that. So if I look up the seat number there, I should get that. And each one is 1 foot, right? So you add that. All right, we've done some fun stuff so far. 592, is that an even number? The floor is wrong. All right, I forgot that I can't add the number of rows if it's a floor. So if this equals floor, then 0, otherwise all that. Okay. Now we're going to do the cost, right? Which includes everything we just did. So the height of the seat is what we just did. And now I need to know the distance of the seat, which we did back in level 4. All right. And it's based on the seat. All right. So now, according to this, following this example, it's 2,500 minus 15 times that 33, right? Minus 10 times this. That's the base price. I got to do multipliers too. So here's the base price. And then here's, multiplier 1 and multiplier 2, which we did way back on level 2. So I got to look up this on this, returning these two multipliers. So the base price times this is there. It does have to be rounded. It's still not looking right though. Minus 15 times 33, not 16. I don't know where that came from. All right, level 5. Nope, level 6 not looking right. Level 6, the height, the distance. "101 is 2284 when it's supposed to be 2588. Concert number 2. Yep, there, that's wrong. It's got to look up the correct thing, right? How about we try this? There we go, there's level 6. All right, level 7. Now, got to do this for every seat, right? So some of this stuff stays constant and can go, yeah, this is by seat. The rest of the stuff is staying constant, right? That stuff staying constant. Height of each tier is definitely staying constant. Multipliers are staying constant. So yeah, these are the things that change per seat. And then the seats I have over here. This stuff never changes, right? So I can just paste values there. So the height of the seat is based on this stuff. got to look up the seed address on that plus the row of the tier, right? Plus, yeah, this is looking up the tier, right? On this is also the tier. This is just the seat address itself that it's looking up. Base price, stuff I have already. All right, and then I need to know if it exists or not. So there is different stadium has different number of tiers. So I look up the concert number on the tour list, returning the number of tiers in the stadium. So if this is the floor, then it always exists. Otherwise, if this is less than or equal to this locked, then yes, otherwise no. Okay, so the stadium has no tier 5 and 4. All right, so now if I sum product, those prices look a little low. Let's see. Getting some NAs here. Stage, there's no stage. Gotta cancel out the stage. Can't, as much as everyone would love to sit on the stage with Seamstress Fast, aka Taylor Swift. That is not allowed. Now, this I got to do, it's probably my multipliers, right? Yeah. So this times this times this is correct. All I need now is my round. And you round at the very end. You do not round each ticket price, which is a little, maybe not the most realistic. I mean, you at least round to the nearest cent, I guess. Oh my God, one of these is off. Oh, I hate it when that happens. 366880. How is that like a floating point thing? 366879. Yeah, it's within $1. Okay. I mean, geez. So it is what, 122. And the correct answer is $1 less. So it's got to be a floating point thing somewhere. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able. I'm not gonna solve that right now. Okay, anklets. So let's set up a what if table for the anklets. So these I'm gonna plug in. I like making little yellow cells for my what if table, right? This is where the answer will be. This is where the anklet's going to get stored. So I just put one of them up here. So now string to array shows me all this. Move everything to the left here. So this is, the bead. This is the base. This is the multiplier. This is the value of the bead. All right. So let's look up this on here, returning here. Actually, I'm going to return it on both of them, which means I can't do it as an array. Return it on both of them like that. And then the value, first one is just the base because the first one doesn't count, right? According to the instructions, it is the base times the multiplier from the last one, right? Because the multiplier applies the next time. You also get extra value, right? So count substring of the big string, finding the little string, that times the extra value, because you can't have it more than once, I believe. So now the sum of this plus the sum of this. And column input cell is here. Now let's speed it up here. All right, so the value of anklet number 1, it's not 368. Okay, well, fine. It's the base times, this one's just the base. Base times the multiplier for next time. Yeah, this isn't locked, that's why. All right. Now, is that still wrong? No. All right, how many times is 1987? Count substring of all of these here. 1987 with the thing there, which has the highest. Use biggest lambda for that. Biggest of that, returning on, that's just 50 of them, right? So returning on sequence 50. Sum of all the anklet values is here. And now we're going to play combination game, permutation game, actually. Make a new copy of this here. The permutation anklets. Copy the letters. And I'm going to find how my permutation function works. Selections is what I have it called. So equals, well, I gotta bring these out first. Text splits this by that. Now selections of this array. Instructions say to pick 6, and the order does matter. That's why I get permutations instead of combinations. So bring these back together. Looks like there's spaces between them, but there is not. I just put this down here and gotta make this the right size. Column input cell is here. Are there spaces? All right, come on, guys. Why would we do that to me? AEFMTR by row. This whole thing, concat. Let's try it that way. Oh, there are spaces in here, aren't there? Okay, fine. Like the T had a space after it. All right, there we go. Now, the maximum of this is 116. All right, that's it. I don't know. I got that one floating point. I'll mess with that later. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, here is live attempt. Last 64. Session 2. We're going to start the timer right as we get to 5 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We are glad to present you the case. Seamstress Fast, designed by Peter Scharl from the US. Seamstress Fast is the greatest singer and songwriter of our generation.
Nice.
She just finished up her Eons tour. You are an
Taylor Swift.
And we'll get to stay on the team if you can be fearless and help calculate ticket price information.
Prices, good, okay. Lots of things.
Each level introduces an aspect of how to calculate ticket price information.
I like ticket prices.
And reach the end of the
I like that one. That's a good one. I like colors.
3 gorgeous tabs are referenced throughout the case, and the bonus questions are independent of
anklets. Everybody's got to have anklets,
so if you get stuck, shake it off and move on to some bonus questions.
Yep, shake it off. All right, that's Meghan Trainor. That's not Taylor. That's not Taylor Swift. We're mixing our pop stars, guys.
Plan your strategy while I present you the case.
I don't know if there's any prep I could do here. I don't know if I understand the title either. Oh, that's her name? Taylor Swift, right? Cause okay, Taylor Swift, right? Taylor is a seamstress. Fastest Swift. Got it.
Stay on the team if you can be fearless and help calculate ticket price information for all of her concerts.
All right.
Each level
Let's see what's going on here. Anklets. So there's anklet number, a beat string. So, and then it multiplies the next bead by a certain amount, right? So, and then there's special beads that give you special prices, right? So, like if your bead string is, you know, some stuff here, and so what? There's string number and the beads. So like if this is string number 1 and those are your beads, now the bead value is here and then the next bead multiplier, right? So maybe the first bead always has a 1. So like, let's see, if I had something like, you know, all beads, you know, or bead string, all beads, base value, and multiplier. And then there's an extra value for these. We'll use count substring for that, right, at the end. So if the bead string, you know, is x lookup 1 on here, turning here, probably turn on calculation just for fun. And then, you know, string to array of this, then the bead's value, right? So got the beads and different values. Can look that up. I guess the first multiplier is always 1, right? If this is your next multiplier, so let's say the first one is always 1. And then the multiplier for this is based on looking up, you know, the one before it. And this is the bead value so far. And then I've got special strings, you know. special strings, present, total points. This is all doable, right? Okay, so let me get ready. Got my folder here, I'm recording. All right, once it's time, I'm going to put the file name here and then click Setup. Clock is more or less synced. My timer's going to go off like a half a second before the real timer, assuming it stays synced. All right. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Download case file. Make this a good size. This here and set up. The concert numbers that occurred in the city. Concert number is there. So some filter the concert numbers where the city equals the city, right? Equals this. Watch out for zeros. There are no zeros or ones. I'm gonna check hints just in case. Good. Cost multiplier. Surgery occurs on a Friday, so this is, the multiplier is here. So concert number 3. Let's look at all this stuff, right? So I'm going to have the date, right? So what? Month in. I don't know if this is the fastest way. I don't know. There's probably some easy way to look up the month strings, but I don't know. I'll just do this. Date equals date of the year, the month, and the day. Week equals weekday. That 6. Occurs on a Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yep. Day of week multiplier. On here, locked, returning here, locked. Is the first concert to occur in Vegas. Okay, are these in chronological order? It looks like it. You don't go back to the same city, do you? Don't think so. So what? In city. First one's always 1, and then if equals this, then this plus 1, otherwise 1. And city. Let's look up concert number on here, returning here. And then that's city multiplier. The N in the city. So here, returning here. All right, so it is simply equals 2,500 times 10 times this, nope, times this, times this. Is there any rounding? No. I'm gonna do that for floating point. Also checking hence. Good, good, good. What row of its tier is the given seat? Number of seats between you and the closest point in the stage. All right, that's an interesting one. I could use a picture here, guys. Is it diagonal? Is it? Based on the number of seats between you, including diagonal movement. All right. Which row of its tier? So copy. This is the stage. The stage is the starting point. So I'm going to fill row with the stage. Now I'm going to do this whole thing like this and do a base or with diagonal. It's tier, right? Distance. Tier, does the floor have seats? Oh no, only in the floor tier. Okay. So that only counts in the floor tier. Equals U2 minus -1, right? It's the number of seats between you and the stage, or no, it's row 1. I don't know. Row 1 is usually the first row, right? Now, what happens if I do this? This is tier 4. If this is zeros, can't spend too much time on this. This is zeros, and the whole thing goes away, right? Yeah, I mean, this is probably it, right? You know. So what if did this is the row number, right? Where +1, right? There's PO. That was pretty hard for an easy. Okay. No, that's not it. Distance to stage is here. It's good. It's the height of a given seat in feet. Okay, so seat data. Address, color, row all, row within tier, tier number. Let's look up. Seat data, returning on all of these. Between tiers. $11 people of the 4 in tier 1. The rows in each tier, okay. Tier. The filter of the row in the tier. Locked. Where the tier locked equals this. here. $26. What's this? All right, manual, what, the Z26? Z26 is the floor not raised up, or is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the floor, but the floor isn't raised up, so it's 0, I think. It's level 5. Hints are good. Look at bonuses might be worth a lot. Anklet value of anklet 1. Right. So this is going to be like the value, right? So this is here. This is all, these all the same length. They are. Base, X lookup, this on here, returning here. Let's do one at a time. Hi. Next multiplier is so points is this, so it's equal to this times this. Sum of this. Say 14 would have a value of, nope, 92, right? No, SA14. This is just base. This is extra. Should do extra also. each bead string in the anklet, right? So count substring this locked here times this here. Right, so if I had SA14, that would be 92. The first one is 297. Appear across all the anklets. What anklet? The sum of the anklets is 15226. $297, 15226, 1987, count substring, concat, all of this, 1987, it's 3, what anklet number has the highest value? Anklet number has the highest value. Seven beads, pick 6, highest value, right? Okay. Use selections for this. This might crash Excel also. All right, equals, sounds like a lot, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Selections from this array, picking 6, order matters, repeats not allowed, and countdown mode enabled. Yep. This. One of these is here. Nope, because that's giving me errors for this. All right. Nope, thumbs up. Okay. All right, upload file. turn off the alarm, thank you. I did great. All right, well, that's it for the first one.